Project 613, Day 70. Today we start learning about the mitzvahs associated with marriage. Our sages teach us that in heaven, God has many souls, and each soul is male and female. And before we are born, God takes the soul and separates it. There's the male, which goes into a male body, and the female soul, which goes into a female body. And they're in this earth, and throughout their lives, they are trying to reunite. And finally, when they meet and they decide to get married, that means that this soul that was once one and was split is now coming together back as one soul. Just like God is the only one that could separate the souls, God is the only one that can reunite these souls. And that's why there is a specific process in the concept of Jewish marriage. So let's talk about some of the important elements of the marriage ceremony. Before we talk about some details, I'd just like to give a general introduction. The concept of marriage, although it plays out in everyday life, also happened between God and the Jewish people. At Mount Sinai, at the giving of the Torah, it was considered a marriage, a union between God and the Jewish people. And many of the traditions that we do at a traditional Jewish wedding are reminiscent of that which occurred at Mount Sinai. So, one of the most obvious and clear things that happen by a Jewish wedding is the bride and groom, they stand under a chuppah. A chuppah is a canopy. Why do they stand under the canopy? One of the reasons given is because at Sinai, as the Jewish people stood at Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, God lifted the mountain above them as a canopy. And that's why we do that today. Under the chuppah, when the bride and groom are there, the most important part of the marriage ceremony is when the groom gives a wedding band to the bride. And in doing so, he says, "You are consecrated to me with this band, according to the law of Moses and Israel." Marriage is a union between two people. They enter into a contract with each other that they will love and care for each other forever. More tomorrow.